What's up guys, it's Cash Out Alex. In this video, I'm gonna be explaining how you can use your ADHD to essentially get rich. People always tell you that ADHD is like this bad thing, or you gotta take pills for it, you gotta do this, you gotta take this medication, you gotta do all this other stuff. And it's like a dampener on your life and it's something bad. But realistically, if you know how to control it, especially towards a business, you can really succeed and actually surpass and use it as a gift and a skill that you're kind of just born with. A lot of people just don't know how that works. And so I'm gonna kind of be explaining. I had a script for this video, but I'm not gonna script it. I really am living proof. Last month I did over $30,000 between Amazon and another business that I'm like about to start really ramping up on. And I think I realized I had ADHD when I was like in, I want to say freshman year, and I was just getting, honestly, I knew I had it, but I realized I had it in freshman year. I would always get in trouble for talking, like always detention. In 7th and 8th grade, I had a permanent detention, Like it didn't matter if I didn't get a detention that day. It's just, I had so many backed up that I was just there. My mom knew, like she would leave me there. That's what it was. And everyone like would always tell me like, oh, it's like this bad thing, you have ADHD, and make it sound like it's something bad. And if you don't know how to control it, 100%, it is something that will limit you and hinder your abilities to succeed and focus and do things that you need to be on task with. And I think the most difficult thing is just time management for people with ADHD, because you're working, like let's say you're doing something or you're trying to focus on something and you'll get super distracted incredibly quickly, and it's very frustrating. And you think that you put in all these hours when realistically you didn't, and that's kind of it. So I'm gonna kind of break that down. I 100% have ADHD. I just don't want to be taking pills for it. I don't honestly like taking medication or pills for anything. Like even when I have a headache, like I just don't want to do it. I feel like it's weak of me. That's just me personally. If it's like the headache thing, okay, you can probably get over that. But I don't think that you should take medication if you have ADHD. And here's why. Because it is a superpower if you control it correctly. And let me explain further. So we talked about, yes, time management is really difficult for people with ADHD, and that goes without saying. Here are the methods that I kind of use in order to control my ADHD and then also use it as like a superpower for my businesses specifically. Because doing a regular job low key feels like the easier route to go because everything is paid for you, and if you get a little distracted, whatever. But I'm telling you, if you start a business or you already have a business and being an entrepreneur on that route and you have ADHD, you can really run it up and do the same exact things that I did and probably better. Of course, everyone's different. The first thing you want to do is you want to limit your scrolling. Scrolling is bad for everybody, but for people with ADHD, it's probably a really big problem. So actually look at your screen time. Check your screen time on your phone and see how often you're scrolling, right? Let's say you're scrolling 5 hours a day collectively between Instagram and TikTok, which is probably what I was at. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna limit your screen time, and you wanna do this in a slow process. So I use apps like Opal, but you could also just use the built-in screen time app, but Opal is like low-key a lot better in my opinion. But with this, essentially you can limit how often you could use the app, and it will also alert you how many times you're picking up the app. And being able to recognize how many times you're doing something is the first step to actually like understanding how to control it. And so let's say you're scrolling for 5 hours a day. You should limit your time to like 3.5 hours a day, right? Because if you go to 2 hours or 1 hour, it's gonna be too big of a change, and you're honestly just gonna bypass it and just continue scrolling again. So you really wanna keep track of how often you're scrolling. And then slowly over time, you're gonna wanna just slowly decrease to what you feel is healthy. Personally, I work on social media, and so I give myself a little bit more leeway. I've mastered kind of the act of not scrolling just for hours and hours and hours. I also have the app Opal set up for that I cannot be on the app Instagram or Snapchat or TikTok for longer than 15 minutes. Because realistically, if I'm making a video or trying to find content ideas, I can do all of that within 15 minutes. The only time I really scroll might be like late at night or sometimes early morning, when like my brain is still waking up. Obviously, that's something I still need to work on, but I'm just sharing my journey right now and how I'm using it to make me better. The second thing that you're gonna wanna do is you want to structure out your days. Set a calendar up for yourself and track your entire day. When you're eating, when you're showering, you don't have to check everything off, but just keep a visual note in your head of how often you're doing something and what time is the right time in order to do it. You're not going to get the urge to get off or change something else. So like, let's say you're working and you have to shower in an hour. You're not gonna shower any earlier because you know that in an hour, that's what you have to do. And you're gonna keep doing that. Now, here's how it really becomes a superpower. When you have ADHD and you know how difficult it is, once you actually figure out the method to control your ADHD, aka some of the methods that I told you about, tracking your day, blocking out your screen time, the dopamine that you're gonna get is going to be insane. This dopamine is going to be what fuels your business. Because the hard part about entrepreneurship, because I've done so many businesses, I've gone up, I've gone down, I've done, $30,000 months and I've done $2,000 months. It goes up and down sometimes. It's been really steady recently, but I've been there. And the hard part for most people is that in the beginning, you get almost zero dopamine. You'll get a giant spike of dopamine right when you start or right when you're talking about it. But as soon as it's time to put the pen on the paper and actually put in the work, your dopamine just crashes down and flatlines for a long time. And that's just flat out entrepreneurship. That's what it is for like 99% of people. But if you have ADHD and you learn to control it through your entrepreneurship journey, you will be getting dopamine spikes because you're completing tasks that you knew that your old self wasn't really able to complete. And so you'll actually be tricking the system. Like nobody else gets dopamine when they're at the bottom making $0 a month, but you're going to be getting it because you feel like you're actually accomplishing something by defeating your ADHD and using it to your advantage. Now, another thing, I don't recommend relying on a substance of any kind in order to complete your tasks. However, I figured out personally for me that caffeine is really well to control my ADHD when I need to get the difficult work done, which is usually in the beginning of the day. The trick for me for caffeine is you don't want to drink it 30 minutes before you wake up, because then your receptors that actually builds the serotonin to wake you up start to slowly die down, because you low-key don't need it if you're constantly intaking caffeine within 30 minutes of you waking up. So you actually want to keep that. Second of all, just another little tip that goes in with that, I like to sleep with a window open. If you could sleep with a window open, that'd be great. The sun is the best way to wake up. Wakes you up at like 7:30. It's perfect. It's the perfect amount. You wake up so smoothly, everything. You also want to keep your phone away from it, because as soon as you wake up, your ADHD brain is going to work. That's it. You want something, you need something. I'm up, but let me scroll. Keep your phone away from you, bro. Trust. Put your phone at least where you can't reach it while you're sleeping. Honestly, the bathroom is a great idea, because if you keep it in the bathroom, by the time that you actually get your phone, you're in the bathroom. Let's get to work. Brush your teeth, do your hair, whatever, face routine, whatever it is, shower, all that. Done. And now you just completed like a whole series of tasks, and you tricked yourself into thinking that you were maybe gonna be able to grab your phone, but you're in the bathroom already and you gotta get it done. Then from there, routine. Again, routine. Now, you don't need to go crazy on routine. Personally, what works for me, and I've actually done research on this, 6 tasks a day is what is optimal for the human brain, especially with ADHD. If you can complete 6 tasks, doesn't have to be difficult tasks, doesn't have to be giant projects. It just has to be tasks. So let's say you need to bang out some homework, or you need to bang out some work, or respond to a client, or things like that. If you have 6 of those and you complete 6 every day, I'm telling you, that is the method. The dopamine boost that you're going to get from that is going to be insane compared to other people. You can use that to leverage your success while you're at the bottom of your entrepreneurship journey from 0 to 10K. From 10K to 30 or 50 is a little bit of a different story. You kind of just have to be like ridiculously disciplined, but you'll still be able to use the methods that you use to conquer your ADHD in your future endeavors. You also should stop watching short form as long as you do. If you need to watch content, which content is great, watch YouTube. Stick to the longer form content. Trust me. If you get too much short form, your brain will get used to it, and then paired with ADHD, you're gonna feel like you need short form, like an addiction, and that's not what you want. I'm not saying you can't scroll or you can't enjoy reels or memes or send memes to your friend. Of course you can do that, but just set a time and a place for that within your calendar that you should build for your ADHD. I'm legitimately living proof for this. Take my word as bond. Seriously, you will see such a giant boost in your productivity if you actually can just control this one aspect of you. Here's also something that happened to me live in one of the vlogs that I posted that you probably can relate to if you have ADHD. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I was back in my hometown and my mom was making food and I was needing to get some work done, and my dad was calling me, my mom wanted me to do the dishes, and I was getting a phone call from a client for Amazon FBA. And I caught myself getting really frustrated, like really mad, a lot more mad than I usually would. And I've noticed like little glimpses of things like this within my childhood as well, where I'll just get really mad and it's led me to bad decisions, getting in trouble, whatever it is. You need to be able to recognize that you're not crazy. You are just getting upset because you are overstimulated and your brain is wanting to do something so badly that you are willing to lash out in anger or get upset or lose focus, get brain fog, things like that. What I did, personally, what worked for me, I just opened the door. It was freezing outside. I opened the door and I just went outside for a minute, 2 minutes. I took care of what I needed to do on my phone and I just stayed calm about it. You, again, with ADHD, you will get such a boost of dopamine when you actually can realize that, wow, I'm controlling this thing, bro. This thing that was destroying me my whole life. I feel like I have these crazy dreams and aspirations and I can't reach them because this thing is limiting me. You actually feel like you can control it. You'll feel like you'll be able to conquer the world, bro. It's not that hard. You just have to be conscious that you have it, which if you're watching this video and you made it to this point, you're conscious. You know that you have it, bro. Actually take the steps in order to conquer it. Because if you don't, you're just gonna continue struggling with it and you're gonna think that that's normal life. And you might be taking medication or things like that and it's just suppressing it. The second you get off that medication, you're right back in the same spot. Probably worse, bro, because now you're getting really bad ADHD and now you're craving this medication. Figure it out. It's not impossible to fix. Something else that also helped me, stick around some friends. I'm always talking about like how you need to separate yourself from friends, especially if you want to lock in and do really well. Yes, that's true, but stick around some friends that you can talk to, because if you have ADHD, the chances that you are a people person is really high. Because I'm a people person, and I know a lot of other people that have ADHD, and they just love to talk, they love to yap, they love to hear other people yap, they love to go out, they love to make videos, things, whatever it is. Realize that you like to do that. That's cool. Just whenever you feel like you want that, give it to yourself, not at this crazy rate. Don't hang out with people every single day because you feel like you have to. But it is really nice to get out and do your own thing with some friends and just forget about all your problems and feel like you don't have to think about anything. Because honestly, when you're doing focus work and ADHD is like messing with your brain, it really messes up your flow, and it's like all you think about, and you think that it's like gonna destroy everything. Anyways, I hope you got a bunch of like value from this video. I just wanted to make like a quick little thing that helped me and hopefully helps you. If you mess with the video, leave a comment, sub. If you like these type of videos, I'll definitely make more. I like making these type of videos. And yeah, again, take care. It's Alex. Love you guys. Sub. And that's it.